Emergency Management Associates, we're dedicated and true, bringing you the essential knowledge, helping you see things through. From disaster preparedness to navigating recovery's embrace, we're here to guide you in every unpredictable time and place. We break down the complex, make it easy to grasp and absorb, sharing strategies for safety, the vital lessons you can't afford to hoard, So thank you for watching, and thank you so much for your sub. You're a key part of our growing family, a member of our knowledge club. With every like, every share, and every comment you send our way, our critical message spreads further, helping more people every single day. Together we're stronger and more prepared. That's the truth we all abide. You help us build resilience with nowhere for uncertainty to hide. Your engagement truly inspires us. Your feedback acts as a guiding light, helping us continually grow and making our channel's future bright. We're always learning, always striving to be better. Bring you the most up-to-date information, no matter the weather. Emergency Management Associates is here for you now and forever, it's true. Keep watching, keep learning, because we truly appreciate all that you do. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for being with us. We're glad to have you with us on this beautiful Monday evening, I should say. Monday evening. Welcome to our program, everybody. It's going to be a good program for you today. Guys, we're going to be talking about earthquakes. We're going to be talking about wildfires in Spokane, Washington. I want to talk about mass shootings as well. Okay? Mass shootings is a top story for today. Okay, we've had two mass shootings, guys. One of them it was in Oregon, and one of them was in Idaho, southeastern Idaho, just north of where I grew up. Okay, that's what we're going to talk about. Okay, now I want to talk about these because it's important. I want to talk about these because it's vitally important for our safety. For all of us, guys. For all of us. This gentleman right here was a civilian. Civilian, guys. He had trained with firearms. He had instructed firearms as well. Guess what? This man saved a lot of people's lives. This man saved a lot of people's lives yesterday afternoon, just after 2:45 p.m. He's a hero. He is an absolute hero. Okay? It's unreal what he did to save people's lives. Let me show you a video here. Okay? I thought I already had this keyed up. If you'll just bear with me for a minute, I'll have this keyed up for you and we can watch it. This is from Twin Falls, Idaho. Again, northwest of where I used to live.
Fuck, this bag is too garbage.
Try this.
Sorry about that, guys. Okay, see this guy right here? He's the hero of all this. The suspect brought an AR-15 to the fight. He brought an AR-15 to the fight. This man here and this Idaho State Trooper are the ones that put it to an end.
At this time, we can confirm that there are multiple victims. Based on the information currently available, there are 3 victims that are deceased. 7 others are injured. 2 of those patients have been treated and released. 3 are in stable condition, and 2 are in critical condition. At this time, we can confirm that the suspect, 24-year-old Chad.
This is the man that was shooting. This is a suspect. He was taken out by the hero that we're talking about.
Williams is deceased from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Investigators are continuing to review the incident timeline, process evidence, and conduct interviews.
Oh, they're marching.
They're marching.
What's going on?
Oh my God. Excuse my language.
Oh,
Guns are drawn.
yeah, they've got machine guns.
At this time, we are still working to determine the full set of circumstances in this incident, including the suspect's actions and possible motivations. The Williams family has been notified, and they are fully cooperating with law enforcement. Their hearts are also broken during this time. First responders faced what was described as one of the most chaotic instances a law enforcement officer can face in their career. Law enforcement began to search for the suspect, as well as assisting medical personnel to the scene safely and providing first aid and transporting those in need to our local hospital. Our department has been in constant contact with the In-N-Out management, and they are actively assisting us in the investigation. We can confirm that there was an off-duty state trooper and a citizen who actively engaged the suspect by returning gunfire towards him. We want to take a moment and commend the actions of the off-duty officer and the citizen and their heroic action to stop this incident. We believe their actions helped drive the suspect away from the scene, preventing further casualties.
Okay, both the officer, off-duty officer, and that citizen prevented any more casualties that could have happened. 3 people were killed and 7 people injured. 2 of those injured were released from the hospital today. The others are still in the hospital in critical and fair condition. Okay, but these 2 gentlemen stopped that fight. They stopped the fight. Could have been much worse. Now I want to play another video for you here as well. Again, I wish I'd keyed this up earlier so I wouldn't have to go through this. But if you guys would just bear with me for just a minute, we'll play this video for you. This video was put together by Benny Johnson.
A libtard redder opened fire at an Idaho In-N-Out and killed 2 people, but it could have been 200 people had it not been for a patriot cowboy hero who decided to take matters into his own hands and before the cops could even get there, took out the gunman. This is Jordan Salinas. And Jordan Salinas was on site wearing jorts and a cowboy hat with his suppressed 9mm, and he trained for this exact moment. He shot the gunman, and we still don't know the identity of the gunman. They always do this. They hide the shooter's identity. He had an AR-15. So this is, of course, a handgun against an AR-15. It's not a fair fight at all. But he shot the masked shooter, and the masked shooter, after being mortally wounded, took his own life, crawled into his own car like a coward. Jordan Salinas saved the lives of men, women, children, young and old. In the videos of this shooting, you can see family members all over the In-N-Out. The In-N-Out, of course, an incredibly popular brand and a place where families gather on Saturday at a very popular shopping mall and shopping center here in Idaho. And so this man is a total hero, and he trained for this moment. Just a reminder, it's all LARPing until you actually need to use your training. And Jordan Salinas was training. He was constantly talking about training. He was constantly posting videos about training with the same firearm, with the same suppressor, and the same tactical motions that he took, advancing towards the enemy, advancing towards the danger, and taking it out, and killing evil, ridding the world of evil. And so... Okay, I'm not going to go any further. Benny Johnson told the story here. He trained for it. He practiced it.
He was prepared. We're going to be talking more about preparedness in a few minutes. But I want to show you this, guys, because this was real. This was very, very, very real. Very, very, very real. Something else also happened in Portland, Oregon. Let's talk about that as well. Okay? This is also important, guys. We need to be understanding what happened. Not only understanding, but we need to be prepared for whatever happens. Whatever happens can make the difference between life and death for you, myself, and your families. All of us. Literally all of us, guys. It's important. It's very important. Okay? Over in Portland, an 18-year-old man is dead and 5 other people injured, including a 15-year-old boy, after a shooting at an Oregon home. The mass shooting happened early Sunday morning in Portland's Cully neighborhood. The Portland Police Bureau responded to reports of gunfire around 3:33 a.m. Sunday morning. When officers got to the home, they found 2 people seriously hurt. They were taken to local hospitals by ambulance, but 1 died. 4 other injured people were driven to nearby hospitals by private cars. People say the 5 injured people, the 5 injured victims, are all expected to survive in Oregon. One, like I said, is a 15-year-old boy, while the others are adults, ranging in age from 18 to 21. 18 to 21, guys. Why are we having firearms in a home? Gang members. Gang members. Police described the scene as chaotic, with hundreds of people present when officers arrived. Why are we having teenagers have a party until 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning? Hundreds of people there. Why are there firearms? Okay. Investigators recovered shell casings across 3 blocks, 3 city blocks, indicating hundreds of rounds were fired. No arrests have been made, and suspect information not been released. Investigators believe numerous people were at the scene before and during the shooting, and Portland Police Bureau are urging anyone with information to contact police online regarding the case 26-224255. Again, if you are in the Portland area and you have any information regarding this case of this shooting in Sunday morning, early morning, contact the Portland Police Bureau with the case number 26224255. It's important. We need to catch these suspects. They need to be apprehended. They need to be brought to justice. This cannot be allowed to continue. And I'm also going to say this. Why in the heck were parents not present? Why in the heck were parents not present? Parents could have prevented this from happening. Parents are vital in preventing this kind of thing from happening. Why were parents not present here? Okay? I'm asking the question. Mila's here, says long time no see. I'm glad to see you here, Mila. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate everybody being here, guys. It's a pleasure to have you all here. Why are things like this happening? Why do we have shootings all over the place like this? Why? It's got to come to a screeching halt. It has to come to a screeching halt. In most of the shootings, guys, I want to talk about this as well. Most of the shooting perpetrators are white males. 54.6% are white males. Perpetrators are overwhelmingly male in 95.4% of the facts. 95% of the time, the shooters are male. 54%, 54.6% are white. Incredible odds, huh? I'm not over here. I'm not done. Okay? Fact sheet here. Okay? Mass shooting fact sheet. High level details about mass shootings from 1966 to today. Last updated today, August 3rd. Today, from 1966 to today, we've had 517 mass shootings. From 1966 to today, we've had 517 mass shootings. Not to be outdone. Look at this. Look at this. Between 1966 and 1980, mass shootings were on a very small climb. Very small climb. After 1980, what happened? All of a sudden, the mass shootings climbed exponentially. Exponentially until this past year. Then this past year, the numbers of shootings went down. Fortunately. Fortunately. Okay? Unreal. Let's look at the total fatalities here. Total fatalities were 1,741 fatalities, meaning people died, and 4,480 victims. That's unheard of, guys. 4,480 victims. That's disturbing. That's very disturbing. It's got to come to a screeching halt. Judge Kelly, we're not talking about data centers right now. We're not talking about hydrogen production, plant area fires. The data centers had nothing to do with the fires. Hydrogen production had nothing to do with fires as well. Those plants may have been in direct vicinity, but they had nothing to do with fires at all. The fires are now under investigation. They're under investigation. Yes, we've had wildfires in Spokane, Washington. 3 wildfires in Spokane, Washington. Incredible. Totally incredible. Let me show you the fire map here. We have the Autumn Fire to the northwest, the Fairfield Fire to the northeast here, just northeast of Spokane, and the Old Trails Fire just outside of Spokane. I'm going to show you a video in just a minute of exactly what happened here. I think we all need to know about it. We need to understand what happened here. Now, in doing so, this one fire victim here, walking over to the fire that destroyed her home. That home was on the block there Saturday morning. That home was just fine Saturday morning. Now it's gone. Hundreds of people lost their homes in and around Seattle. Hundreds of people. I'm going to show you some pictures here. I'm going to show you some video of what's happened here. Please, guys, let's watch what happened. We need to be cognizant of what happened here. Okay? Unreal. Unreal, guys. Watch this one, then we'll go to the other one.
We continue to follow breaking news this morning. In eastern Washington, roaring fires have forced more than 60,000 people from their homes and into shelters as more than 600 homes, businesses, and other structures burned to the ground. Fox 13's Sean Chitness live in Spokane this morning. And Sean, what have you been seeing all morning long?
Well, Bill, as we were driving around on the north side of the city, we saw how from one neighborhood to the next, one area to the other, you could see homes destroyed by these fires and, of course, others right next to them spared. We've made our way straight north from Spokane, just outside of city limits in Spokane County at one of the local high schools here. This is the Incident Command Center, and next hour.
Okay, I'm just going to pause this briefly. When I was in Spokane doing the first Pacific Northwest disaster drill regarding the Cascade megathrust earthquake, we used this high school, this administration center, as headquarters for our drill.
This is where the governor will be speaking with other leaders to give us an update on not only the response, but how they are working with those families affected and the many who have had to evacuate. I want to show you what we can see here just in the parking lot, which gives you a sense of just how massive this response is. We know that emergency crews have come from all over to be a part of the team here. And on the other side, we're really surrounded by tents, which is a reminder of the number of firefighters who are here and working around the clock, many of them trying to get some sleep right now because they were likely working overnight to try and control these 3 different fires. And I did get the chance to speak to one of the public information officers who was explaining that with at least 2 of the fires, they feel like they did a decent job of keeping it within what was already burned. That 3rd fire, the Autumn Lane fire that we've been talking about, did grow a little bit overnight. Let's show you the video of what we saw when we were out and about earlier this morning in another part of town. This was the northwest corner within the city limits of Spokane and within one of those level 3 go now evacuation zones. That's where we saw the work and effort to try and save homes, the retardant covering the streets, the homes, the fences of some of the houses there, but then many homes lost by what was likely the Old Trails fire, the one closest to that area, destroying multiple homes on one side of the street and then leaving others untouched. As we were driving throughout that area, we saw multiple examples of just how the fire moved like that and heard from people who were in the area about the need to evacuate so quickly, and at one point apparently 3 hours just to get outside of that area. So that's a sense of how things are looking this morning as we are now a couple days into the response of this fire. And of course, we're going to learn a lot more when we hear from the governor and others in the next hour, which we will bring to you live here on Good Day Seattle.
Okay, unreal, guys. The 3 fires are out of control. 60,000 people are not in their homes. 60,000 people have been evacuated. Some homes have been fine. I'm going to play another video for you here right now to show you exactly what happened here. This is also important. Please watch this.
The forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
So we're tracking all of that as we welcome you into Kairos 7 News. Eric Thomas with you. And we start with that breaking news. 3 fires currently burning more than 8,000 acres in north and northwest Spokane, now being labeled as one fire complex known as the Spokane area fires. Take a look at the evacuation areas right now. Most of these evacuation orders are in northwest Spokane near the Old Trails and Autumn Lane fires. There are also evacuations near the Fairfield fire in North Spokane. According to officials, more than 10,000 homes affected and 60,000 people evacuated just within city limits. Take a look at the cell phone video as well, showing several homes actively burning as those fires progress. You can see the charred remains of several homes burned to the ground. Earlier this afternoon, officials giving an update as well on efforts to fight those fires, calling them a top priority, not just here in Washington, but nationwide. And just into the newsroom as well, we know at least a dozen states are sending support for those crews on the ground. Thankfully, officials say no one has been hurt or killed as a result so far.
No, we don't have any reported injuries, at least not to Crime Check or 911, and no reported deaths as of yet.
So we do have team coverage for you this evening. Cairo 7 meteorologist Robert Van Winkle tracking the latest on wind and the forecast from the Pinpoint Weather Center. But let's start with Jake Chapman, who joins us in studio. Jake, you've spoken with several people who've had to evacuate.
And Eric, that includes journalists too. I got a chance to speak with one reporter at our sister station in Spokane, KHQ, who learned he had to evacuate his home as he was covering these wildfires, putting into perspective how these wildfires affect us all.
But this fire is real. I mean, I watched houses burn.
A series of wildfires plaguing the east side.
We're here today to discuss really the worst natural disaster our region has faced.
The Spokane Area Fires Complex has burned down over 600 structures, including homes, and forced thousands in the region to evacuate.
Just in a matter of hours, their lives changed in deeply dramatic and fundamental ways.
It's just widespread destruction.
And that includes our colleague at KHQ, Bradley Warren, who had to grab whatever he could from his home while he was covering the wildfires.
Grabbed my passport, my computer, and I grabbed an envelope that I think has my birth certificate in it.
He thinks he has the envelope that has his birth certificate. He thinks. This is another reason we talk about emergency preparedness on this program. This could happen to any one of us. All of us could be affected by this.
How do you process that after you've talked to people who've gone through something like, now you've gone through the same thing?
Yeah, I mean, it's a helpless feeling for sure.
He says his home is okay, but understands that isn't the case for many of his neighbors.
So the way the fire was moving was the backside towards my house. So it's everything in that middle. That's where my sister lives. I don't know what her house looks like right now or her neighborhood.
And as first responders continue to battle the flames and assess the devastation.
Because of the scale of this and what it takes to, do those kinds of investigations in an active fire scene, that could change.
Warren urges the public, when those evacuation orders are up, to take them seriously.
We watched at least 3 homes go up. I mean, so there's no point. Please leave. Do not get injured.
And I've ran into Bradley out in the field when we covered the Chelan Hills fire a few weeks ago. And it's one of those you don't think about it as a journalist, your home being impacted because it's a job. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it is a job. And there are real people that are covering this and trying to inform us. And Bradley, we thank you for being out there right there. But the good news is, like I said, his home is okay. It's just, he just said there's smoke everywhere and the devastation is just endless.
Okay, the devastation just endless. Remember those words. The devastation is just endless. It's there. It's not going away. It's not going away, guys. This stuff is real. I get told all the time, well, Ron, it's not going to happen to me. I'm not interested. I'm not going to watch the program because what you're talking about is not going to happen to me. It will. It will. 60,000 people in Spokane may have also thought the same thing. That reporter escaped with his life. He escaped with a computer and a folder that may have had his birth certificate in it. Why is that even a question? Why were those people not prepared? Guys, I've said this and I'm going to say it again right now. Get your important paperwork together. Make copies of it. Put copies in a plastic sheet, a plastic envelope to protect them from water. Put those copies in that bag and seal that bag and put it in your emergency preparedness kit. All forms of ID should be there. Insurance information should be there. Vaccination information, medical information should be there, as well as a stash of cash that you might have. Anytime you get yourself a hand on a little bit of cash, put it in a bag in your emergency preparedness kit, Put it away for a rainy day. Put it away for an emergency. This is absolutely necessary, guys. This is absolutely necessary. I've said this and I've said this and I said this, guys. What is it going to take? What is it going to take to be aware of what's happening? What is it going to take to be aware of what's happening around us? Okay? 3 major wildfires in Spokane County. They've destroyed hundreds of structures, and at least 60,000 people have had to evacuate. So far, no one has gotten injured and no one has lost their life. That's a good thing. The Autumn Lane fire prompted the largest response Sunday and remains active right now. Crews have relatively distant control of its boundaries. Major Jet Welsh, the Adjutant General of the Washington National Guard, who I personally know, who's helped us out on disaster drills before, he's asked residents for patience as officials work to safely reopen affected areas and allow residents to return to their neighborhoods. Have patience, guys. Have patience. So far, like I said, there have been no injuries, no reports of death at all. No fire-related serious injuries or death have been reported, but the situation is ongoing, and that number could change. There's changing weather conditions as well. As we talked about fires before, doesn't matter whether it's fires here in Washington, fires in Oregon, fires in California, Arizona, New Mexico, wherever they might be, fire weather conditions are changeable. They change all the time. Why? Because fires develop their own weather system. Fires develop their own weather system. Once the fires get going, guys, what happens? All that heat really snowballs. The heat snowballs. And when it snowballs, what happens? The fire spreads, doesn't it? It develops its own wind. It develops its own wind and pushes it through acreage, literally. Now, today has been their first time that the firefighters will have favorable weather. Okay? There's light winds going on and high temperatures, 80-degree temperatures, which is not good for firefighters, but the break won't last long as temperatures climb back into the 90s later this week. More than 100 National Guard members are assisting the Spokane community right now. Now, I want to add this. When the community is allowed to go back in, you need to be very careful. You need to be very careful. Wear heavy-duty shoes. Wear heavy-duty shoes and clothing. Okay? There still could be hot embers floating around in the air. Wear heavy-duty shoes and clothing. The ground can also still be hot. Be careful. Okay? Those changing conditions after the fire is over for various residents, this time will take some time to get over. Okay? Locals in this area, some have lost everything they had. Some residents have returned to have their homes completely destroyed, as I showed you in that picture just a few minutes ago. They've gone home to collect belongings that survived the blaze. One resident who lived in his home since 1980 and recently moved his father into a nursing home called the timing of the move a blessing, given the destruction caused by the fire. Now, short-term FEMA assistance is available. Short-term FEMA assistance is expected to be approved for Washington State, and Governor Bob Ferguson said the state is working to secure long-term aid. Washington will be prioritized for federal resources as the Autumn Lane fire remains the highest priority blaze in the nation. The Autumn Lane fire is the highest priority blaze in the country. Washington State is also receiving assistance from crews from more than a dozen states in Australia as well. Fire crews from more than a dozen states and Australia as well. Okay? Spokane Mayor Lisa Brown encouraged residents who are able to volunteer to help those affected by the wildfires, including helping by the local Red Cross trailers or contributing to local relief funds. Okay? Firefighters are battling the flames in Spokane County. They've also recorded 26 drone incursions. They've encountered 26 drone incursions, guys, over the active fire operations yesterday. Yesterday, 26 drone incursions. Why? Why does that happen? Guys, if you have drones, don't fly them. Stay out of the air. Let the fire crews do their job. If you put a drone in the air, you're going to disrupt the fire crews from containing the blaze. When an unauthorized drone goes in the air, enters a restricted airspace over wildfire, helicopters and air tankers that are used by fire crews are often grounded until the airspace is clear, according to fire officials. Okay? Why are we incurring drone incursions? Why is that happening? Number one, people are violating the law. When there's fires like this, drones are illegally to be operated. Drones are illegal to operate completely. Don't do it. It's a felony. It's a felony. Every minute these aircraft are unable to fly gives the fire more opportunity to grow, putting firefighters and the community and the property at greater risk. I'm going to repeat that. Every minute these firefighting aircraft are unable to fly gives the fire more opportunity to grow, putting firefighters and communities and property at greater risk. Don't forget that. Please don't forget that. When that happens, that means more property is going to burn. And also the chance that you or someone else may die as a result of somebody being stupid and disobeying the law, putting yourself in greater danger of being burned or dying because of your own actions. Actions have consequences. Actions have consequences, guys. Arnold Schmidt is here, one of my moderators, one of my best friends here. He said the same pattern of negligence from the authorities are so stupid to not be proactive, but choose to be reactive. This is criminal behavior on both sides of the border. Criminal behavior on both sides of the border here. Drone operators were identified and cited by the Sheriff's Department. If you see smoke, keep your drone on the ground. If you see smoke, keep your drone on the cotton picking ground. No photos or video is worth delaying critical firefighting operations. Remember that. No photos or videos are worth delaying critical firefighting operations. Fire is burning in Spokane County. There's 0% containment. 0% containment. Fire officials have said that 3 wildfires burning in Spokane County have burned more than 7,000 acres combined and have 0% containment. Crews have been attacking the flames of the Old Trails Fire, the Fairfield Fire, and the Autumn Lane Fire since they started on Saturday. Those fires quickly spread. Spokane Public Schools will run a free emergency day camp on Monday today, giving parents displaced or disrupted by the wildfires somewhere safe to leave their children for a few hours. The camp today was run from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Sheetal Park High School, and it's open to children 4 and up. Okay, lunch will be provided by the school district at no cost through a federal summer meals program. This is intended to give parents and caregivers impacted a break from the wildfires, a safe place for the children while they take a break, run errands, or address other immediate needs from the fires. The school district may open additional camps elsewhere in Spokane, depending on demand and how families respond today to the first day camp today. Remember that. The school district in Spokane may offer and open up additional day camp sites elsewhere in Spokane if today's worked. If today's day camp worked. That still remains to be seen. Because some of those day camps are still open right now. Actually, they just closed about 20 minutes ago. Those day camps closed 20 minutes ago. I hope they were very successful. I hope. Does anyone have questions about these fires? I have some firefighting experience because I used to be a firefighter before I was a cop. I've also operated on fire scenes before in California or in also Colorado. Linda Covington says Washington is a Democratic state. They cut budgets on police and firefighters. They really did. That's a sin. That's a sin. That should never happen. But these Democrat communists do that. They do that. Right now, I know for a fact what's going on with the Democrat Communist Party. They're running on the ideas they will cut budgets. They will cut budgets. They will cut police and fire protection completely. I've heard that from at least 2 candidates for office throughout this country. Don't do it, guys. Don't vote for a Democrat communist candidate, ever. Don't do it now. Don't do it ever. We do not need communism in this country. We already have a communist governor in California. He's going to go away. We have a communist mayor in New York and another one in Connecticut. It's got to stop. It's got to stop. The guy in Connecticut is a Sikh from India. His family came here in 1964. He was born here, but he's an Indian Sikh, a Muslim radical. A Muslim radical. Mondami in the city of New York is a Muslim radical. Unreal. Now, President Trump is also looking into the possibility that these people that are radicalized, naturalized citizens could lose their citizenship and be shipped out of this country again. Can happen. Can happen. Trish Killian says her daughter and son-in-law live in that fire area. God bless your son and daughter, or daughter and son-in-law, Trish. God bless everybody in that fire area. I've worked with the National Guard there on disaster drills. I worked with the governor. I've worked with the police and fire departments in Spokane. Those are great men and women. Those are great men and women, guys. God bless them all. God bless them all. Does anybody have any questions about so far about what we talked about? Any questions? Let's talk about earthquakes now. Let's talk about earthquakes, guys. What do you say? Let's go over the USGS map. I'm going to take down our EMA banner. As soon as I have this map up, I'm going to take down our webcam as well. Right here, just south of the Philippines here. South of the Philippines, we have another earthquake. This is not the only earthquake in the Philippines area. Again, this is not the only earthquake in the southern Philippines. This is a 4.5 earthquake. This came out as a 5.1 earthquake. USGS downgraded to 4.5. Okay, but again, it's not the only earthquake. There are at least 7 or 8 other earthquakes here in this area. All the earthquakes here are aftershocks. They're all aftershocks of the 7.4 earthquake that happened right here. right here just weeks ago. Again, I want to tell you this. The Philippine people are still digging out from the devastation this earthquake caused. The Philippine people here in this area are still digging out from the earthquakes that happened here weeks ago. 7.4 earthquake and a lot of other fives as well. You got to remember 5.0 and large earthquakes are large earthquakes. 5.0 plus earthquakes are large earthquakes. Okay? Again, this is not the only earthquake here in the Philippines or even in Indonesia. There are 67 earthquakes here in Indonesia. USGS is not showing any at all. That's sad. That's very sad. They're showing one earthquake here in China. This is a 5.0 here, 5.0 large earthquake here, 14 kilometers east-southeast of Yibin, Y-I-B-I-N, China. Now, guys, there are other earthquakes here as well. All morning long, all day long here in Myanmar. You see Burma here? It's called Myanmar now. Here in Myanmar here, we've had at least 4.0 plus earthquakes here. One of them came out as a 5.3, was downgraded to a 4.7, further downgraded to another 4.3, a full magnitude downgrade. A full magnitude downgrade. It's unheard of. Also up here at the India-Myanmar border here, we had a 4.7 earthquake that's downgraded from 5.1. We have a 4.7 earthquake that was downgraded from a 5.1 earthquake here. We've had numerous earthquakes here in the Himalaya Mountains here. We've had numerous earthquakes here in the Himalaya Mountains. Why do I talk about the Himalaya Mountains? The Himalaya Mountains here, guys, are the edge of the tectonic plate. The Himalaya Mountains are the edge of the tectonic plate. When the tectonic plate moves, which it does, there's always going to be some kind of earthquake movement. Every time the plate moves, there's going to be an earthquake. USGS still contends they're not going to show earthquakes here. There are plenty of earthquakes here. Plenty of them, guys. Over here in Iran, we've had two 5.1 earthquakes here. Two 5.1 earthquakes here. They were BOMBS. They were BOMBS earthquakes caused by ordinances. Caused by ordinances, guys. And here you see the tectonic plate marked in red here, going through southern Iran. There's another tectonic plate that's not marked, going from the Himalaya Mountains over northern Iran right here, across to the Caspian Sea. Across from Caspian Sea here into Turkey, into Syria and Turkey here. They're still not showing 76 earthquakes in the Turkey-Syria border region here. 76 earthquakes today in the Turkey-Syria border region. Aftershocks, every one of them. Every one of those 76 earthquakes are aftershocks. A much larger 9.0, 10.0 earthquake that happened here, February 3rd, 2023. February 23rd, 2023, this area had a 9.0, 10.0 earthquake. That earthquake unalived over 5,000 people and left another 5,000 people injured. It also left a great big huge 12-mile-long fissure in the ground. It opened up a 12-mile-long fissure here in the ground in Turkey. 12-mile-long fissure, 8 stories deep. You can fit an 8-story building in that fissure, guys. Unreal. Earthquakes all over northern Turkey, central Turkey, and southern Turkey as well as western Turkey as well. Okay? About 30 earthquakes here in western Turkey. 30 earthquakes. Craziness. Earthquakes down south here around Crete, Greece. Earthquakes here in Greece as well. Let's go over here to Italy. USGS is not showing any earthquakes here, which is a fallacy. It's an out-and-out lie. It's disgusting USGS doesn't show these earthquakes. There are plenty of earthquakes here. Plenty of them. We have some small and minor earthquakes here, as well as some tremors here in southern Italy and Sicily. There just happen to be two volcanoes here. Two volcanoes here. Mount Etna and Stromboli are also here. Mount Etna and Stromboli are also here, and they are erupting. There's also something else going on here, right here. Vesuvius here, guys, is an ancient volcano that is also putting out steam. It's putting out steam earlier this year. It's putting out steam now. This whole area is rocking and rolling. Vesuvius is waking up. There's magma going to all the volcanoes. There's magma going to all the volcanoes worldwide, including Vesuvius. Guys, we have tremors, we have minor earthquakes, we have small earthquakes, we also have moderate earthquakes here in Italy, right along the southwestern shores of Italy because of volcanic action. Go further north over here towards Naples, right here. Over here on the north side of Naples, we have another problem. It's also connected to Vesuvius. This is Campi Flegrei. Campi Flegrei. We have all kinds of earthquakes here. Earlier last week, last Thursday, there was a 4.5 earthquake that hit here. Guys, it was larger than that. Much larger than that. It flattened homes here. It flattened homes here in Campi Flegrei. Some of those homes were made 70, 80 years ago. Yes, they were flattened. They're flattened. That was only a 4.5 moderate earthquake. We usually don't see that kind of damage from moderate earthquakes at all. I believe that earthquake was a lot larger than a 4.5. This area is still getting hit with earthquakes. Why? See the craters here, guys? All these craters throughout this area here, they're part of Vesuvius. They're part of Vesuvius. Before and after Vesuvius erupted here, magma flowed over here out of these craters here. Lava flowed out of these craters all over the landscape. We still have craters left over. Still have craters left over all the way up here to the north. This is also a crater here. Okay? Officials here in Italy are still trying to evacuate parts of Campi Flegrei as well. Okay? Parts of the old city are tourist trap. This is tourist season, guys. It's still good and warm here in Italy. Tourists are being evacuated as well. People that are citizens here, residents here, are being evacuated as well. At some point in time, guys, some point in time, we're going to see lava on the landscape here. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Guaranteed, cotton picking tea. But this is not the only place where we're seeing earthquakes here. North central Italy right here. We have swarms of earthquakes here. Today we have 22 earthquakes here. Sometimes we have as much as 45 earthquakes here in north central Italy. Why? Guys, we've had swarms here for over 2 years. Swarms of earthquakes indicate a large earthquake is coming. Already during the past 2 years, we have already had 2 5.0 earthquakes here. One was a 5.1, the other was a 5.0. Because of the swarms, guys. The swarms are anywhere from 1.0 tremor to 1.9 tremors, 2.0, 2.9 minor earthquakes, 3.0, 3.5 earthquakes, and 4.0 to 4.2 earthquakes here in this area. As a result, we're going to see more large earthquakes here. 5.0 large earthquakes going to happen. Going up here into northern Italy and the Himalaya Mountains, or not Himalayas, sorry, the Alps Mountains here. The Alps Mountains. We have some tremors and minor earthquakes. 1.0, 1.1, 1.4, 1.5, 1.7 tremors here. And a couple 2.0, 2.1, 2.2 earthquakes as well. Going over here in Germany and France, minor earthquakes and tremors as well. Again, 1.0, 1.9 are tremors, 2.0 to 2.9 are minor earthquakes. They don't get up that high here in France or Germany. They get up to be about 2.4, 2.5, however. They have them. They have them. Up here towards Brittany. 2.2, 2.5 earthquakes here. They've hit. They've hit. They're going to continue to hit. Here in Spain, the southern coast of Spain has seen some minor earthquakes. 2.0, 2.4 earthquakes here. Going up here into Portugal, 2.2, 2.4 earthquakes here in northern Portugal. Southern Portugal here into the Azores. We've seen 2.2, 2.4, 2.7, and even 3.7 small earthquakes here in the Azores. And the Azores here, guys, they happen. They happen quite frequently, in fact. Quite frequently. Okay? Let's go south. Right here. The Canary Islands here. Tenerife, guys. Tenerife. Tenerife volcano is active. Tenerife volcano is active. Okay? We might also have an active hotspot here. We might have an active hotspot. Now, let's back this out. A couple years ago, 3 years ago, we had an active volcano here of Palm Island. The Cumbre Vieja volcano was active. It erupted. It did not erupt up here in the crater, though. The volcano did not erupt up here in the main crater. However, it did erupt up here or down here to the south, along the spine of the island. Along the spine of the island. Towns and cities were evacuated here in the southern Palm Island. But some cities were completely covered by lava. Others were spared from most of the lava. But it had ash. This volcano erupted and had ash. The ash spread all over the island. And guess what happened? When that ash got wet from rain, from mold, was already in the area, that ash became like concrete. The dampness here on La Palma Island and the rain caused that ash to become like concrete. And as a result, that ash got heavy and collapsed roofs of businesses and homes. We got one person was injured and put in the hospital. Another person was put in the hospital, injured, and they died. Only 2 people were either fatalities or casualties from this event here on La Palma Island. We thought the hotspot had gone away. We thought the hotspot here in La Palma Island got away. It moved. It moved. It got silenced for a time. Now I believe that hotspot has moved over here, the Tenerife volcano here on Tenerife. Now again, this area has had some earthquakes as well. As a result of the earthquakes here, the authorities here on the Canary Islands have evacuated parts of Tenerife in anticipation of the volcano possibly erupting. Okay? They even had people hiking here earlier last week. They had people hiking on the volcano earlier last week. Now those people have been evacuated to the other cities along the coastline and further to the north. Okay, that's what's going on here. Any questions about the Canary Islands? Earthquakes are still hitting here. Most of the earthquakes here are minor tremors, minor earthquakes 2.0, 2.9, and 3.0 to 3.4 earthquakes here on Tenerife. The right stuff is here. He says he's in Spokane. It's absolutely horrific. I can only imagine. I fought a lot of wildfires back in the day when I was in high school and in college. After college, I became a police officer. I've seen destruction from wildfires, and once I became a police officer, I was asked, because I was ham radio operator at the time, to go up and put up communication outposts at fires in Southern California, which I did. I've seen complete destruction before. I can only imagine what has happened in Spokane. We talked about that at the beginning of this program. I showed you videos of what's going on. I showed the fire, I showed you the smoke, and I've shown you the firefighting response from firefighters and other first responders that are there. God bless the first responders. God bless the people of Spokane and the surrounding areas. Unreal. Unreal. Down here in South America. We have 14 earthquakes here in central Chile, Argentina border region. 14 earthquakes here. USGS not even showing us one. Not one single earthquake here. However, going north, they're showing us a 4.4 earthquake here, 34 kilometers east-southeast of Vallenar, Chile. Okay? Guys, this is the foothills of the Andes Mountains here. This 4.4 moderate earthquake is in the foothills of the Andes Mountains. Okay? Where it is solid rock. It's old rock. And as a result, any of the people who live in the towns and cities around this area may have felt parts of this earthquake. However, it's only a moderate earthquake. Not going to do much damage. Any damage it might do are because people don't have substance. They may not have full-blown homes. Their homes are made of mud, not brick, but mud, wood, and cardboard. Yeah. That's what happens here. When they have an earthquake like this, it disrupts their lifestyle completely. Going north here. This is Tirana, Chile. Northern Chile. Guys, this is not the only earthquake here as well. There are 16 earthquakes here in northern Chile. 16. USGS is showing a 4.0 here, and that's all. Sad. 25 earthquakes here in Chile. 25 earthquakes here in Chile, Argentina area. USGS shows 2. They choose to show 2. Central Peru, guys, had a large earthquake here. Central Peru had a 5.2 earthquake here. Shell earthquake as well. 26 kilometers deep. Shell earthquake here. Guys, it's in the foothills of the Andes Mountains here. The Andes Mountains collapse over here in the Pampas area of Peru, but there's a little hillside that draws up here, not far from the mountains. Guess what? We have a fault zone. A fault zone here. 5.2 earthquake here in Peru. 66 kilometers west-northwest of San Alejandro, Peru. 5.2 earthquake here on the fault zone. Okay? Going north, you don't see any earthquakes here because USGS decides they don't have earthquakes. That's not Did USGS decide anything? They shouldn't be deciding anything. Here in Colombia, Central Colombia here, Medellin, Santander, Colombia, we have some minor earthquakes. 2.3, 2.7, and 2.9 earthquakes here. Going up into Venezuela here, northeastern Venezuela here. We have minor earthquakes and tremors here. Minor earthquakes and tremors. The people here in and around Caracas here experienced a 7.2 and 7.5 earthquake. It was really a lot larger 7.8 earthquake here some weeks ago. They're still digging people out of the rubble. They're still digging their families out of the rubble here. Their families have perished in the rubble. There are about 70,000 people that are unhoused. 70,000 people are unhoused. Don't have a place to live. 17,000 people have been injured. USGS still doesn't show any earthquakes here today. There are about 26 earthquakes here today. Tremors, minor earthquakes. 1.2, 1.7, 1.5 tremors. 2.0, 2.2, 2.4, 2.4, 2.5 earthquakes here around northeastern Venezuela, around Caracas in this area. God bless those people in Caracas. God bless all the people in Venezuela, all the people in the Philippines, and all the people in Spokane. God bless you all. Let's go over here, okay? See line of earthquakes here, guys? Right between Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Earthquakes, guys, in a line. A 3.1 small earthquake here. 3.1 small earthquake here. 3.2 small earthquake here. Those of you that have been a partner to this program for a long time here, EMA family, what do we usually think of when we see earthquakes in a straight line? What do we usually think about when we see earthquakes in a straight line? Or the same magnitude earthquakes in a small swarm, a small cache of earthquakes. Okay? A bunch of earthquakes, same size, and even in a line like this, could be thought of as undersea, underground military outposts. Okay? It's happened before, it can happen again. We usually do not see 3.1 earthquakes like this in a line. It doesn't happen. Today it did. When this kind of thing happens, our military may be destroying underground military outposts, underground military tunnels. Wouldn't surprise me at all. At all. Going over here to southwestern Puerto Rico. You see 5 earthquakes here in southwestern Puerto Rico. All 5 earthquakes here are aftershocks of 2 major earthquakes that happened here, December 26th and December 28th, 2019. December 26th and December 28th, 2019. Man-made earthquakes. Man-made earthquakes. I'm going to bring up my webcam here. I want you to see what I believe it is. These are aftershocks, guys. These are aftershocks from a man-made earthquake that was caused by this organization right here. Please do not put this in the chat. Please do not put this word in the chat. Back on December 26th and December 28th, 2019, an organization of this, or member of this organization here in Norway, lit up their facility. A facility in Russia also lit up. A facility in northwestern Australia also lit up. They triangulated southwestern Puerto Rico, causing two major 8.0, 8.4 earthquakes here, December 26th and December 28th, causing major destruction, knocking out power here on Puerto Rico, knocking out power on Puerto Rico, knocking out their weather service, knocking out their water service as well. Nothing here was left. Knocked out all kinds of civilization here in Puerto Rico. Specific damage happened here where you see these earthquakes. Specific damage happened here where you see these earthquakes today. Let's talk about this. Right here. This is Magas Arriba, Puerto Rico. 2.8 minor earthquake. All of these earthquakes are aftershocks, those two major earthquakes here back in 2019. This is a 2.8 earthquake. This is a 2.2 minor earthquake. You see a red earthquake here just happened within the last half hour. This is a 2.3 minor earthquake here, near Guanica, Puerto Rico. My friend Dominic lives here in Puerto Rico, lives in Guanica. He's a police captain here with the Puerto Rican Police Department. Dominic lives here in Guanica. Right here. This is a 2.4 minor earthquake here. 3 kilometers east-northeast of La Porguera. 3 kilometers east-northeast of La Porguera. Unreal. Over here, right here, La Porguera. On December 28th, after the 8.4 earthquake, before it happened, there was a great, big, huge, tall, natural-made sandstone sculpture here. Natural-made sandstone sculpture here, much like you'd see in Arches National Park, Utah. After that 2.4 earthquake hit, I'm sorry, not 2.4, the 8.4 earthquake hit, that huge sandstone arch collapsed. Totally collapsed, guys. Totally, absolutely collapsed. It was a tourist trap. La Porguera has been a tourist trap. I believe it still is, but the sandstone monument is gone. The sandstone monument is gone because some people in elite governments throughout the world decided they would use radio waves to cause earthquakes here in Puerto Rico. That's what happens. That's what happens. Also, another earthquake down here further to the southwest here. Right here. This is a 2.3 minor earthquake here near Aveyah, Puerto Rico. Near Aveyah, Puerto Rico. 2.3 earthquake here. Again, an aftershock on two major 8.0 and 8.4 earthquakes that hit here December 26th and December 28th, 2019. Craziness, guys. Total craziness. We have an earthquake up here in the Caribbean Sea, north of the Mona Passage here. North of the Mona Passage. Look where it's at. It's at the earthquake fault here. It's at the earthquake fault. A 3.2 earthquake here that came off of the Cayman Trench. Came off of the Cayman Trench here. Dropped off here. Both of these earthquake faults were connected to the Cayman Trench, the Cayman Ridge earthquake fault. The Cayman Trench, guys, starts over here in Central America, Guatemala. Goes out here in the Caribbean. It takes a jog about 100 miles to the north here, and it continues its eastbound journey here through the Caribbean, south of the Cayman Islands, goes north of Jamaica. It skirts the south side of Cuba, continues eastbound north of Haiti, north of the Dominican Republic, north of Puerto Rico. Then takes a westward or southern turn here on the eastern side of the U.S. British Virgin Islands here, down the east side of the outlying islands here, going down here in the Atlantic till it comes over here to Venezuela, then goes westbound to Venezuela. Westbound into Venezuela here. Now, we do have an earthquake here. We do have an earthquake here in northern Dominican Republic. This is a 4.5 moderate earthquake here. A 4.5 moderate earthquake here. Again, it's on the earthquake fault. The same earthquake fault that connects with what? The Cayman Trench. The Cayman earthquake fault. 4.5 earthquake here in northeastern Dominican Republic. There's been no real damage here, just minor damage. Just minor damage and tremors here. That's it. They're continuing to hit here. Okay? Going up here into Texas. Southern Texas here. These are oil and gas earthquakes, guys. These are oil and gas fracking earthquakes. This is a 2.2 earthquake here near Pires, Texas. Right here, 1.6 tremor here, Falls City, Texas. 2 years ago here in Falls City, we had a 5.0 large earthquake. All the earthquakes here are oil and gas fracking operations. Oil and gas fracking earthquakes. Every last one of them. Up here to the north, right here. You see red earthquakes here. Red earthquakes or earthquakes just happened within the last 30, 40 minutes. This earthquake here is a 1.6 tremor here. 1.6 tremor. Guess what? This is a 1.4 tremor here. This is a 2.1. 24 kilometers southwest of Westbrook, Texas. 10 miles southwest of Westbrook, Texas. Right here. This is a 1.5 tremor here near Forson, Texas. Oil and gas fracking earthquakes. Oil and gas fracking earthquakes. Every one of these. Every one of these. If there is an oil and gas pumping operation here within 6-10 miles away from this earthquake, that means it's an oil and gas earthquake. And that's the case here. That's the case here. Okay? Going over here to the west, right here. This is near Ackerley, Texas. 1.0 tremor here. Tremor here. See each of these plots here, guys? These are oil and gas wells here. These are oil and gas wells here. Okay? Whenever you have a hole in the ground, guys, you have seismic energy coming off the Pacific plate, come over here on the North American plate. It finds a man-made earthquake fault or a natural-made earthquake fault, hole in the ground. It causes that earthquake fault to fall. Fractured rock inside the fault causing earthquake movement. Here. Okay? Oil and gas, fracking earthquakes here. All throughout this area. This is a 0.9 microquake here. Excuse me. A 0.9 microquake here. This is a 0.6 microquake here. This is also a 0.3 microquake. This is 1.2 tremor here. This is 0.7 microquake here. Stanton, Texas. Oil and gas fracking operations here as well. Stanton, Texas, 2 years ago had a 5.0 earthquake here. 2 years ago, Stanton, Texas had a 5.0 large earthquake here. Oil and gas fracking operations here. Okay? Go out here further to the west here. Right over here. What do you have, guys? This is on the border of Texas and New Mexico. This earthquake is 18 kilometers, 9 miles southwest of Jai, New Mexico. Texas, guys. 1.2 tremor here. Another earthquake up here at the border here. This also is a 1.2 tremor here near Balaga, New Mexico. 32 kilometers, 16 miles southeast of Morganton, New Mexico, in Texas. You see some new earthquakes here, right here. Brand new earthquake. 1.6 tremor here. This is 1.7 tremor here. This is 1.6. This is 1.6. This is 1.6. Bunch of 1.6s, right? Yeah. How about this 1.2 tremor here? Or this one here? 1.92 points earthquake. 1.92 points earthquake here. And right here, 1.8 tremor here, Toyota, Texas. 38 kilometers northwest of Toyota, Texas. Oil and gas fracking operations here. Okay? You see all kinds of oil and gas plots here with oil and gas pumps and jacks here. This earthquake is right next to a pump and jack, literally. That's why we have this earthquake here. Okay? Yes, we have earthquakes here in Southern California. They happen. But as I said before, USGS is not even showing us all the earthquakes. USGS says there's 233 earthquakes worldwide. Worldwide. With all the earthquakes I've shown you so far, guess what? They have not come anywhere near showing you all the earthquakes at all. There are about 1,700 earthquakes here around the world. 1,700, at least, if not more. Down here in this Imperial Valley here. Imperial Valley here is Imperial Valley, California. Westmoreland, California. This is the 1.0 tremor here near Westmoreland, California, right here. East-northeast of Westmoreland, California. 1.0 tremor here. Then we go out here in the desert. So this whole area is the desert, guys. But out here is really sand. Almost nothing but sand out here now. Okay? Right here. The San Jacinto Fault. This is a 1.4 tremor. This is a 3.0 earthquake. 3.0 small earthquake here on the San Jacinto Fault. Now, guys, I can guarantee you guys, there are at least, and I'm not going to joke about this, there are at least I hate even saying this. Over here in El Centro. In El Centro, we have 10 3.0 earthquakes here in the Imperial Valley. Here in El Centro. In El Centro. 10 3.0 earthquakes here in El Centro. Some of those earthquakes may have been even larger, maybe 3.5 earthquakes here in El Centro. 10 of them. But we also have minor earthquakes, 2.0, 2.9. We have all kinds of 1.0, 1.9 tremors here as well. Every day. Every day. Over here in the town of Imperial, all kinds of tremors here as well. Imperial also gets earthquakes here as well. Fathom that. Fathom that. Then we go up here. Right up here. We have a town called Calipatria. About 18,000 people live here in Calipatria. There happens to be a seismic up here in Calipatria. Here in Calipatria, we usually see anywhere from 75 to 150 earthquakes here. 75 to 150 earthquakes here in Calipatria every day. Every day. Okay? So far, guys, between Holtville down here to the southeast, Imperial, and El Centro, up here in Calipatria, guess what? 500 earthquakes a day here. 500 plus earthquakes a day. Then we go up here to the east side of the Salton Sea. Bombay Beach. Every day here in Bombay Beach, we see anywhere 15 to 20, 3.0, 3.5, 3.7 earthquakes here. Sometimes we even get 4.0, 4.5 earthquakes here in Bombay Beach. Every day. Every day. Combine all those earthquakes in Bombay Beach with all the earthquakes in Calipatria, All the earthquakes we used to see over in Westmoreland, even though we don't have the seismograph there, there's still earthquakes there. Going into the town of Imperial, now Central, and Holtville. We have well over 500 earthquakes a day here in the Imperial Valley, all throughout this region. Earthquakes everywhere. Also, something else going on, guys. What else? USGS.gov just bought into our EMA level 3. We have 3 levels. Level 1, level 2, and level 3. Level 3 is $1.99 a month. Level 2, level 3, level 1. Level 1 is $4.99 a month. Or actually $3.99 a month. $3.99 a month. Level 2 is $2.99 a month. Level 1 is $1.99 a month. For that, you get to be part of our members-only club here. Our members-only club here on the Emergency Management Associates. And at least once a week from now on, I'm going to do a members-only meeting. It's been few and far between because some things happened to me with my cancer treatment and since my cancer treatment. But I'm hopefully getting past some of that. So we'll be back on the air one of these mornings here this week with another members-only episode of the Emergency Management Associates. Yes, we're going to have fun with it as well. But you also need to know that members only will also get information that everybody else won't get till later. People who are not members of this program here will not get information until later. Members only get it first. Now, San Diego County. You see earthquakes here in San Diego County. Southeastern San Diego County Mountains. Pine Valley, California. Southeastern San Diego County. This is the 1.6 tremor here. 1.6 tremor here. Going further to the north here. Borrego Springs. 0.6 microquake. Borrego Springs here. 0.8 microquake. Dan's Gap here. 1.0 tremor here. Now, the Anza-Borrego Desert State Park is in northeast San Diego County. The Anza-Borrego Desert State Park is northeast San Diego County. Guess what? All these earthquakes in northeast San Diego County belong to the Anza-Borrego Desert State Park. This is a 0.8 microquake. This is a 0.3 microquake. This is a 0.4 microquake on the San Andreas Fault. I'm sorry, not on the San Andreas Fault, on the San Jacinto Fault here. The San Andreas Fault is over here to the east. These are on the San Jacinto Fault here. This is a 0.6 microquake. This is a 0.6 microquake. This is 0.9 1.0 tremor here. San Jacinto Fault. Going over here to the east. To the east here, guys. Guess what? What do you have here? This is Thermal, California. San Andreas Fault. 1.0 tremor here. Right here. San Andreas Fault. Cabazon, California. 1.0 tremor here. Right here. San Andreas Fault. Beaumont, California. 2.1 minor earthquake. This is a 1.0 tremor here. Calamasa, California. On the San Jacinto Fault. This is 1.4, Calamasa, California. San Jacinto Fault. This is Loma Linda, California. Home of the Loma Linda Medical Center, world-renowned Loma Linda Medical Center. Just south of that medical center, we have a 0.8 microquake. Nobody even felt this earthquake because it was too small. Just a tremor here. Just a tremor. North of Los Angeles out here. 1.2 tremor here. San Dimas, California. Out here to the north here, Bradbury, California. Bradbury, California. They're calling this a quarry blast. They're calling this a quarry blast, guys. The quarry was about 1.5 miles, 2 miles away. Not a quarry blast. This is 1.2 tremor. Earthquake tremor, not human caused. Okay? There are also all kinds of earthquakes all over Los Angeles County, all over Los Angeles City. USGS doesn't even occur to even talk about this. At least once a week I shoot earthquakes here in Los Angeles and San Diego counties, and the Imperial County as well. Right here. Santa Ana. Santa Ana. 1.0 tremor here. 2.5 earthquake here in Gardena. 2.5 earthquake in Gardena. Guys, Santa Ana is the border area of Los Angeles and Orange County. Santa Ana. A lot of years ago, I helped start the Santa Ana Bicycle Police Program. I was part of the federal bicycle program in San Diego. I helped start the Santa Ana Bicycle Police Program here. Very interesting police program. Why do I even talk about that? Because, guys, how many of you know Jeff Dunham? How many of you know Jeff Dunham, guys? Jeff Dunham has a spiel he puts out when he's with Walter, his puppet Walter. Walter's an old man. Walter makes fun of the Santa Ana police. Going down the road on the bicycles, jing, 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 jing. Walter says, what's wrong with that? Police officers without sirens. Police officers without sirens. Pull over, jing, 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 jing. Yeah. Rich Quake says Hosea Jalapeno as well. I agree. Hosea Jalapeno is a kick in the pants. Kick in the pants. Going north here, Gardena, California. 2.5 minor earthquake. Going way out here to the north, Chatsworth. Here today in Chatsworth, we have 1.7 tremor. Guys, Chatsworth has had a 5.0 earthquake back in the 90s. Back in the 90s, Chatsworth had a 5.0 large earthquake here. They have had large earthquakes here. Any questions about this? Any questions about this? I want to go north just briefly here. Just briefly here. Right here. Right here. On the San Andreas Fault here, south of Monterey Bay. The Pinnacles here. The Pinnacles here is a gas and oil drilling operation here on the San Andreas Fault. This is a 1.0 tremor here. This is a 2.4 here, Tres Pinos, California, where 5 years ago we had a 5.0 earthquake here. 5 years ago, 2021, We had a 5.0 earthquake here in Tres Pinos today. We have a 2.4 minor earthquake. Right here, southeast of Tres Pinos, we have a 1.5. East of Monterey Bay, again, Gilroy, California always has at least one earthquake a day. This is their earthquake here. 1.0 tremor here in Gilroy, California. You don't feel tremors here. You don't feel minor earthquakes either. Too small. Too small. There's still 1.0 tremor here. Then we go north here on the Hayward Fault. Here we have a 2.1 earthquake here in Morgan Hill, California. 2.0 here in Morgan Hill, California on the Hayward Fault. This fault could go at any time. It could go at any time, just like the San Andreas. Okay? We haven't seen a major earthquake here in San Francisco in a very long time. The last time we had an earthquake of any consequences here in the Bay Area was over here in Oakland. California, on the Hayward Fault. A 6.9 earthquake hit here, completely destroying the Bay Bridge, completely destroying the San Francisco Bay Bridge, knocking traffic lanes down into the ocean, dropping both the top and the bottom span into the ocean. It can happen again. In recent days, we've seen a lot of earthquakes here. Recent months, we've seen a lot of earthquakes here. A lot. San Ramon out here. San Ramon. They had all kinds of swarms of earthquakes here in San Ramon. That's going to happen again. It's going to happen again, guys. Now, going north here. Right here is the southern side of the Cascadia subduction zone. The southern end of the Cascadia subduction zone. We see two earthquakes here. Two earthquakes. Right here at the extreme triple junction area. The extreme triple junction area, where the Gorda Escarpment, the Cascadia subduction zone, and the San Andreas Fault come together here. Here we have a 2.6 minor earthquake. 2.6 minor earthquake here. Down here to the southeast, we have an earthquake here on the San Andreas Fault. A 2.7 minor earthquake here on the San Andreas Fault. Fancy that. You hardly see anything else happening here in Oregon. They're only showing a handful of earthquakes here. Handful of earthquakes. One here in Oregon. A 2.2 supposed explosion here. 2.2 supposed explosion here. Dundee Canyon, Oregon. Dundee Canyon, Oregon. Guess what? Guess what? There's no quarry blast. There's no quarry blast here. It's in a forested area. It's in a forested area. How about this? Sorry, that wasn't it. How about this? Spontaneous combustion carnivorous, an exploding tree. Spontaneous combustion carnivorous, an exploding tree. That about makes more sense than an explosion at all. Okay? I want to thank one of my mods. Demon Catman from the east of England made me this meme. Spontaneous combustion carnivorous, an exploding tree. Maybe the marmots here. Maybe the marmots here in Oregon blew up a tree. Maybe. Just maybe. Okay? Guys, this was a tremor here. This was a 2.2 tremor here. Not explosion here. Not explosion here. USGS doesn't know what it's talking about. This proves it. This proves almost beyond a shadow of a doubt USGS has no clue. Going up here in Washington State, they show one tremor here at Mount St. Helens. One tremor down here at Mount St. Helens, but it's not the only one here. Right here. 4 of them, 5 of them. Five of them, guys. This is 0.4 microquake. And this is also 0.4 microwave. Twin earthquakes here. Twin earthquakes here. Going over here to the southeast, 0.4 microquake here. Way down south to the southwest here, 0.7 microquake here. 0.2 microquake here. Guys, this is on the southwestern flank of Mount St. Helens. All right, sir, I'll say southeastern side of Mount St. Helens. Not necessarily down the magma chamber, though. Not necessarily down the magma chamber, though. Because guess what? Guess what, guys? This is a shell earthquake. A shell earthquake. In this case, this is 6.5 kilometers deep, 3 miles deep. Three-mile deep earthquake here. 3-mile deep earthquake. All these earthquakes are shell quakes. They were not felt by anyone in this vicinity. These are tremors, guys. Nobody can feel tremors here. Tremors at Mount St. Helens. They're not the only earthquakes here, though. Mount St. Helens also had some minor earthquakes, 2.0, 2.9. Mount St. Helens has also had at least 2 3.0 small earthquakes here at Mount St. Helens today. Always does. But heaven forbid USGS tells about it. Heaven forbid USGS tells about anything going on here. Over here at Mount Rainier. Over here. In the foothills of Mount Rainier. The upper foothills of Mount Rainier at 0.3 microquake. Down here to the southwest, Another 0.4 microquake. Guys, there are all kinds of microquakes here at Mount Rainier, all kinds of them. All kinds of tremors, 1.0 to 1.9 as well. All kinds of minor earthquakes, 2.0, 2.9. At least 1 or 2 3.0 earthquakes here at Mount Rainier every day. Mount Rainier is an active volcano. Mount Rainier and Mount St. Helens are active volcanoes. And they're two of the most active volcanoes, meaning either one or both of these volcanoes could erupt at any point. Either one of these volcanoes could erupt at any point. Fact. Fact. You can take that to the bank. Up here to the north on the Olympic Peninsula here. USGS is telling us about a 1.0 tremor here. There's Squamish, Washington. Squamish, Washington. This is a 1.7 earthquake, a tremor, near Quilcene, Washington. Quilcene, Washington, guys. There are all kinds of tremors, there are all kinds of microquakes, all kinds of small earthquakes here, all around Washington State. Just because they don't show it to you doesn't mean it didn't happen. It did. They're just coming up. They're just coming up, guys. One more earthquake, and then we're going to call this a day. Right here, Haida Gwaii. Haida Gwaii here, guys, on land, on the island. This is a 4.8 earthquake here. 4.8 earthquake here. In the western mountains of Haida Gwaii. Okay? Offshore here, we have the Haida Gwaii Fault. The Haida Gwaii Fault is capable of a cascading megathrust earthquake as well. The Haida Gwaii Fault is capable of a 8.5 to 10.0 earthquake here on the Haida Gwaii Fault. Yeah. Today we have a 4.5 earthquake here. Interesting. Interesting. Any questions about anything, guys? Any questions about anything? Again, we have all kinds of fires around Washington, Oregon, but primarily we have three fires near Spokane, Washington. 3 fires near Spokane, Washington. Out of control. Out of control fires. Let's pray for those people in Spokane. Let's pray for those people in Spokane. They need our prayers, they need our thoughts, and they need help rebuilding their lives. Okay? Now, guys, you can also contribute to building our program here. Here you see 2 PayPal locations here, 2 PayPal addresses. You can send us donation to our super chat here in the chat, and also donation to our PayPal. Also, you see our post office box here, 504 Bethel Road, box 401, Morganton, North Carolina. The zip code here is 28655. Help send us donations here to help defray the cost of operating this program. I just got informed this past Saturday that we're going to be paying more for bandwidth. Up until now, early this year, we paid $258 for bandwidth. 2 months ago, they raised it $300. Now it's over $300 as well. We'll get the final figure probably tomorrow. About exactly how much money it's going to cost for bandwidth to broadcast this program with. We need at least a gig of bandwidth to broadcast this program. I thank you all for your support, for helping keeping this program in the air. I thank you for being here so I can disseminate this information to you so you can be better informed of what's going on around you. All of us need to be better informed. Now, in closing, I want to leave you with a thought here. The family bonds you form here in this life on earth can last beyond death. Strengthening your relationship with God can lead to stronger relationships with your family. Families are a central part to God's plan. Families are a central part to God's plan. Your loving Heavenly Father loves you. God wants you to learn and grow in life. Families play a critical role in that growth. We believe that families have a central building block of a strong society. Families are a central building block of our society. Our homes can be a place where we can feel support, safety, and love. Connecting with God helps us create strong families where spiritual, emotional, and physical needs are met. Connecting with God helps us with all that. If your family is a great source of love and joy in your life, it might be very hard to imagine heaven without relationships with these people, part of your family. Part of the good news of the gospel of Jesus Christ is that families can be together forever. In Matthew 18, verse 18, Jesus Christ taught, "Whatsoever ye shall bind on earth shall be bound in heaven. Whatsoever is loosed on earth can also be loosed in heaven." But families can be together forever. That same authority that God has, God unites husbands and wives, parents and children together for eternity. I promise you that. I promise you that. When you have struggling children, you know the bond is not really together in families. We need to bond with our families, guys. We need to pray. We need to read the scriptures with our families, our children as well. Our children as well. Whatsoever ye shall bind on earth shall be bound in heaven. May God bless us. We may continue to do his work. We may continue to do his work and understand what's going on around us. Let's help each other. Let's support each other, guys. God wants us to be together. God wants us to be together and live forever. May God bless you. May God bless you and unite us forever. May God be with you today and forever. May God be with you until we meet again. If anything else happens tonight or tomorrow morning, we'll be back on the air to tell you about it as soon as the information becomes available. Till then, have a good night. Like I said, we'll see you tomorrow. God be with you until we meet again. See you soon, guys. Good night.
Thank you.
Okay, I just want to briefly stop this for just a minute. I want to thank Linda Covington here. Linda Covington has been in our chat for a very long time. She's one of my favorite people here. One of my favorite people. You're all my favorite people. All of you. Now, guys, Linda Covington sent us a care package here for Carol and I. Sent us a care package. Let me show you something, guys. This is just one of several things she sent us right here. See this? She has sent us a care package. Swedish fish, She sent us these large packages of Swedish fish. Guys, it's going to be a long time before we're out of sugar. It's going to be a very long time before we're out of sugar. She also sent us some portable meat grills to grill our vegetables and meat on. Okay? So I want to thank Linda Covington for sending us this care package we got on Saturday. Thank you very much, Linda. God bless you all. Let's go back to our regularly scheduled program. Have a good night, guys. Take care. See you soon.
At Emergency Management Associates, we're dedicated and true, bringing you the essential knowledge, helping you see things through. From disaster preparedness to navigating recovery's embrace, we're here to guide you in every unpredictable time and place. We break down the complex, make it easy to grasp and absorb, sharing strategies for safety, the vital lessons you can't afford to hoard. So thank you for watching, and thank you so much for your sub. You're a key part of our growing family, a member of our knowledge club. With every like, every share, and every comment you send our way, our critical message spreads further, helping more people every single day. Together we're stronger and more prepared. That's the truth we all abide. You help us build resilience with nowhere for uncertainty to hide. Your engagement truly inspires us. Your feedback acts as a guiding light, helping us continually grow and making our channel's future bright. We're always learning, always striving to be better. Bring you the most up-to-date information, no matter the weather. Emergency Management Associates is here for you now and forever, it's true. Keep watching, keep learning, because we truly appreciate all that you do. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, all, everyone. Thank you.